Because you say, I am rich, and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and know not that you're wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked, I counsel you to buy of me gold, tried in the fire, that you may be rich. Revelation 3:17 and 18. The Laodiceans sought after and were satisfied with possessions, rich and increased with goods. Therefore the Lord spoke to them concerning their true need, gold tried in the fire. Gold speaks of the divine nature, His image and likeness being wrought out within our spirit. We will become like Him as we spend quality time with Him. Now the Lord is ready to take her a step further. In order to make a deep and lasting impression within her concerning Himself, He brought before her a glorious revelation of His person and presence as He came forth from the wilderness clothed in all of His manifest glory and sovereign power. Who is this that comes out of the wilderness like pillars of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all powders of the merchant? Behold his bed, which is Solomon's. 70 valiant men are about it, of the valiant of Israel. Song of Solomon 3, 6, and 7. It is essential for each one of us to come to the place where we personally, implicitly, can trust both our Lord's willingness and His ability to keep us during our wilderness experience or during any time of difficulty we face, and then safely bring us out. Immediately after the excitement and glory of this experience, the Lord made an arrangement in which she became as a garden enclosed. Song of Solomon 4:12. Here she will be separated for a time from all material influences and outside activities to the Lord Himself. During this time of separation within the garden, all that she had come to know about the Lord will become a personalized reality within her as she spends time alone waiting upon Him in His presence. Then in His time and way, that which she becomes while within the garden will find its full expression and outworking as she daily walks out His will and purpose for her life. She is about to experience what the Lord meant when He said, Buy of me gold tried in the fire. Revelation 3:18. This garden enclosed is designed to bring forth the very best of the potential that the Lord has seen to be within her, us. Although it is situated in a very beautiful setting, it represents a realm of intense personal dealings, so she hesitated to enter. The Lord knew she would attempt to leave before He could fully accomplish within her all that He desired. Therefore He built a high wall around the garden, making it completely enclosed, so she would not be able to leave. The Lord is able to keep us where He has placed us. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Song of Solomon 4:12. This high wall also hindered all, except the Lord, from entering. It separated her from the fellowship of her friends and from all those who would attempt to occupy her time or divert her to a lesser realm of spiritual experience. Also during this set-apart time, her giftings failed to operate, and her enabling for ministry was cut off. She is now separated from all that she has been accustomed to and dependent upon. She has become a garden enclosed, separated to the Lord Himself. The 9 plants mentioned as being in this garden are types of the 9-fold fruit of the Spirit. They represent the quality of spirit that the Lord desires to develop within her, us, during this time of separation. Your plants are an orchard of pomegranates, with pleasant fruits, camphire with spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all the chief spices. Song of Solomon 4:13 and 14. The orchard with pleasant fruits within the garden speaks of the spiritual maturity that is unfolding within her, a display of righteousness, peace, and joy as she grows in spiritual understanding and wisdom. During this time of being set apart, there were times when she had a desire for expression or ministry. If I could just get out and share all that I'm receiving. But the Lord had made her a garden enclosed. Through being shut in by the Lord for a season, she became much more sensitive in her ability to recognize His voice and His presence. Thus she was able to respond more promptly to His desire for her fellowship. For you have created all things, and for your pleasure they are and were created. Revelation 4:11. We were created for His pleasure. Therefore, there are times when the Lord desires to be personally alone with us. I will come into Him, that He might sup with us, and then we with Him. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. Revelation 3:20. As we spiritually mature, past seeking for ourselves, these times of supping will lead us into the experience of the fellowship of His sufferings, in which Jesus shares His burdens with us. That I may know Him, and the power of His resurrection, and the fellowship of His sufferings, being made conformable to His death. Philippians 3:10.